Hey guys, my name's Sam and welcome to Paramedics. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a tour of our ambulances. Alright, so starting the walkthrough of the ambulance out, we're going to go around, start on the outside, move to the inside, and then we'll go to the driver's compartment and show you what's in there. So let's get started. Coming around to the passenger side, the first compartment here, if we open this door up, we have a couple main things on these shelves, and these shelves can be accessed from the inside of the patient compartment as well as the outside. So in the top, we've got an extra battery for our Lucas and a digital camera. The Lucas 3 compression machine, that was one of the first videos I put out actually. A portable suction unit, always plugged in and charged. And down here we've got vacuum splints, which are great as long as they don't have a hole in them, and a portable O2 tank with some non-rebreathers and nasal cannulas in here. Coming around to this side, in here, some oil dry, fire extinguisher, chocks for the wheels, and then some road flares. In the passenger side back compartment, we've got two backboards and a scoop stretcher, some head blocks, straps for the backboards, and then seat collars. And really, truly, the new spinal immobilization policies coming out now and the science behind it, we're really not doing a whole lot of this. So to tell you the truth, we are not immobilizing hardly anybody anymore. All right, so coming around the back of the ambulance, on the driver's side, back compartment, we've got our Stryker stair chair. In this door, we've got like our cappers unit. So after the Ebola scare, everybody got hazmat suits in their ambulances essentially. And then I believe level 2 hazmat suits. And then we use the smart triage system because we're different, I guess. And then in the door directly behind the driver's side is the inline O2, a KED, which is never used, and a pediatric backboard, which is never used. All right, so we'll come around to the side door because it's a little bit easier to come in. Stepping up to the side door, you're gonna notice we've got our first out bag there, and this is all changing, so I'll do another video with the details of our new bags we're getting. And then while I'm mentioning that, we're getting completely different ambulances. We're getting Freightliners with more rails on the side, a Furno system, than the cabinets. But this is what we have, and then I'll use the other one, milk it for another video when the time comes. So, first out bag has everything we need in it, and we can just kind of grab it. The passenger can grab it as they're going out their door, pretty easily accessible. Right above the captain's seat is all our airway equipment, so pretty self-explanatory and pretty common on almost any ambulance. In the top compartment, we've got our airway roll, and I'll just take this out and show you really quick. And I keep on promising these videos. I promise I'll do a video on these as well. This airway roll has our laryngoscope, our Mac blades, Miller blades, all the tubes you could ever wish for, tube holders, end-tidal CO2, and then McGill forceps and stylets. For a video laryngoscope, we use the King Vision, and this is just the monitor part of it. And you can see the King Vision blades are in there along with a bougie at the far back wall. I don't know if you can see it. So below that is the mess cabinet, and this is a lot of stuff we really hope we don't have to use. Backup airways, we have the King LTEs, work pretty well. We have 3 ARS needles, chest seals, extra suction catheter, or container, sorry, tube holders, and then 2 quick trachs. So we've got a pediatric quick trach and a second quick trach down here. That's the adult. In Iowa, we cannot do surgical crikes, unfortunately. So in this cabinet is more of our BLS supplies. So the 3 sizes of BVMs. Coming down here, we've got our non-rebreather masks, neb kits, suction, our yank hour, and then our soft suction for the tubes, a nebulizer device for an ET tube. If somebody's intubated, we need to give them a neb. Nasal cannulas and simple O2 masks. I have no idea why we have simple O2 masks, but it's not up to me. In this one, we have our CPAP. I can get it out. Got it. These CPAP units are great, actually. They come with a neb that you can put in line with it, adjustable PEEP right up here at this twist valve, and then they connect right under here. So I can just unscrew one of these, and the CPAP just screws right on. Doesn't let you adjust the O2 percentage, but most of these people, we want them on 100% O2, at least initially anyways, so not really a problem. In here we've got our OPAs, MPAs, O2 supply tubing, and then end-tidal CO2 nasal cannulas, and these will plug right into our cardiac monitor if we need to use them. So they work pretty great. Especially in a college town where you have a lot of anxiety attacks, it's good to just get an initial end-tidal CO2 reading to see what symptoms are being caused by that hypocarbia, or if it's something else metabolic going on. Also great for asthmatics or basically any breathing problem. Extra ECG pads, and then pediatric SpO2 for the monitor. Coming down to this shelf right by the captain's seat, got more O2 stuff. We've got 2 O2 ports here, suction canister, and then all the regulatory controls for the ambulance, so temperature, inverter, whatnot. Have a razor and 95s and Kleenex. We use the Zoll X series. Not my favorite monitor in the world. I would much prefer a LifePak, but because we're a part of a bigger hospital conglomerate, they kind of make the decisions on what we carry, and we don't really have much of a say in it. It does its job. 12 leads, pacemaker, or pacer, can cardiovert, defibrillate, any number of things, and it does its job. Right below that, we have a drawer that has an IV kit in it. So these IV kits are just old Tupperwares that we got a store, have loop, flush, tegaderms, syringes, everything you would need. Medication administration, etc. And we've got just some paper forms if our tablets go down, and then a keyboard in there. We have IV pumps. We've got one in here, and we've got other ones in our office we can grab if we need to. We have an OB kit up here, and then just some bulb suction and clamps in addition to. Super high-tech ALS cabinet filled with linens. And below that, we've got like basic trauma supplies. So SAM splints, trauma dressings, roller gauze, Coban, you name it. Arm boards for pediatric patients are in here. We've got a fluid warmer below that for 2 normal saline. And then right next to it, and I'm sorry it's a little bit dark, I don't have good lighting in here. Next to that, we've got more saline, 15 drop tubing, 60 drop tubing, and blood tubing under there. Ring cutter, Sharpie, both good things to have. Next to the basic trauma supplies, we've got your soft restraints, a pressure bag for your IO, and then one of the unique things that our service does that not a lot of other services are doing is we have port access. So we can access ports on patients if they're a cancer patient, they've got one put on, we can use that. Apologize, the other truck's getting a dispatch. All right, so coming around. So this is now the passenger side of the ambulance. We've got our bench seat here, which in rural Iowa, it's actually pretty important to have a bench seat for us because we'll oftentimes load multiple patients in here because there's simply not enough room, or there's not enough ambulances to call like 3 or 4 to your scene. We have a total of 5 ambulances in the county, and that's if they're in service. We're one of the only professional services in our area. Up in here, we've got your sodium chloride, hydrogen peroxide, disinfecting wipes, more disinfecting wipes because patients can be very gross. Hot and cold packs. And then vital things, so blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, kind of in a mess at the moment. I should probably go through this rig. We've got a Doppler for the really low BPs, and then ultrasound gel for that, just in case. We've got trauma shears, thermometer. On the bench seat, we have another IV kit. And I know we're not supposed to have stuff just out, but we do, so that's how it is. Underneath, we've got a Mega Mover, body bags, Sager traction splint, urinals for our long distance transfers. Our service does both 911 and transfers. Up in this cabinet, and I'm not going to show you the code. This is our medication cabinet. So in here, we've got a simple med box. In this med box, we have Zofran, Duonubs, albuterol, aspirin, nitro, and then we have both the Zofran tabs and the IV Zofran for our patients. Because we're hospital-based, our meds are stocked by pharmacy. These ones are not, so we can restock these without running up to pharmacy, and it saves a lot of time for us. This Pelican case, I'll take it out. I won't open it at the moment, just because it's a pain. I'll open it in another video and show you guys. These are our medications. We're a pretty progressive service. We carry a lot of meds, and this is what we use for them. So, good case, pretty solid. Also works as a defensive weapon too, if need be. And sorry, that beeping is just the door opening and closing. So further in here, we have the cyano kit, which we carry for our firefighters. You guys know cyanide is a pretty big byproduct of combustion. So if one of them's trapped in a fire, they have a victim in the fire, we do carry this kit, which is very expensive and we never really use it, but it's good to have just in case. Up in this cabinet, we carry Tridil nitroglycerin for infusions. Some additional 60 drop tubing, dopamine, lidocaine, D5, our IO kit, which I'll show you in a second, and Duodote auto injectors. These are for your organophosphate poisoning nerve gas. We carry a bunch for us and then firefighters if we need it, if we're exposed. These are technically for us and not for our patients. And then our IO. So we do the easy IO, like basically everybody else. So this is the, oops, sorry, upside down. This is the drill for interosseous access. And then we carry a variety of needles with it, another pressure bag, saline and whatnot. So the cot we use Stryker cots. They do not have, oops, sorry. The Stryker cots do not have the auto load system on them. For us, we're getting them, don't have them yet. But Stryker, we like the brand. And then on here, these have the bariatric wings on them. So if somebody does hang over the edge a little bit, you can kind of use these as an extra platform and they're not as uncomfortable. Coming to the front seat, this is the passenger seat. In here, there's a mounting bracket for our tablets. GPS unit, and then just a standard radio sirens column. We do carry, and I'll bring these out to the light a little bit. We have North American Rescue ballistic vests, 2 of them in each ambulance. These are 3A armor. And then we have the capability of talking to helicopters with mutual aid radio. And then for our like local dispatches, we have this radio, which we communicate with Iowa State Police Dispatch, Ames Police Dispatch, Story County Sheriff's Office Dispatch, are all the 3 entities that can send us out. So that's our ambulance. If you have any questions of anything you saw, let me know in the comments down below. If you have other videos you would like to see, please don't hesitate to ask. If you're a fan of this channel and the content I'm putting out, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you next week.
722, go ahead.